Everybody, welcome back. I gotta tell you, it is 8 p.m. on a Wednesday night, which is, it's been a busy week. That's why I'm playing as Isaac tonight. I want a nice, streamlined, fun run. We 2W, YMQL. Everything's going fine. It's been busy. We've been adjusting our daughter to daycare, which has led to, a strange and unstable morning schedule temporarily. You know what? We take that. Which has compromised my ability to record in the morning, which has led to me recording a little bit of Isaac, at night here, as you can see. Want to make sure that we're sneaking this in under the wire. So I'm a little out of practice. Like, I've been basically recording at the bare minimum levels. It's very unusual for me. It's not typical. But that's okay. You know what? It's for a good cause. If the daycare situation, which, is now started, I know you're like, we were talking about it in the Genesis stages, like, recently. Now it's already begun. It's true. It happens fast, You're like, should we put her in daycare? And then, like, let's play this one more time. Thank you. Next thing you know, you're going for interviews. Next thing you know, you're in. It's just that easy. Well, not really. It's actually, like, pretty tough to get into a daycare here, but we've covered that, I think, in the past, so there's no need to bring that back up. But yeah, so today today's Wednesday. Monday, Kate was there with her, like, the whole day. Well, 9 to 12, because, she's still on a truncated baby schedule. Then Kate was with her all day yesterday, and then today I took her, and then after like an hour, the daycare provider was like, you should leave now, and like, we'll see if she gets adjusted, and she ended up doing okay, apparently. Which is good. A lot of people were like, are you gonna be okay? Like, because it's gonna be an adjustment, or I think I've seen other, like, vlogs. Some people, like, feel like they're, abandoning their child. And I mean, well, I guess as a parent, you're not abandoning your child. Give me one of those, please. But you are, dude, why would I? You know what? I'm out of here. This is fine. Give me an arcade on the next floor. But you're worried your child thinks you're abandoning them. And then you're like, that reflects poorly on me. But she was crying when I left, but the daycare provider was like, that's normal, just go. You feel a little bit of like a pang of like, oh, she's not gonna have a great day. And then as soon as I got out of the door, I gotta tell you, and I say this not just to make a joke, but also because, every parenting vlog I've ever seen in my entire life is like, I felt like I was leaving my child at, like, the orphanage. As soon as I walked out the front door, in my head it was like, wake up, get up, it's the first of the month. I was like, it wasn't like I got out of prison, okay? Keep in mind that I had also just spent, like an hour and a half, 2 hours with, a bunch of, like, 18-month-old children that were very friendly, don't get me wrong, but were not my child. So they would, like, my child, like, when she holds a spoon and then shows me, I'm like, you're, oh, my sweet, precious angel. Another child, is like, spoon. I'm like, yeah, you got it. Okay, whatever. Who cares? It was nice, don't get me wrong, but your internal monologue is like, yep, spoon. You're nothing. I learned about spoons classically and contemporaneously at Le Cordon Bleu Culinary College in San Francisco. God, I love that video. You go ahead, hit me. Look, we just laundered our spirit heart into a demon heart, like a boss, I might say. Poop on Deborah's desk. This is just that's a bad situation in there. And then, you know what? Apparently, because I was in my head, I was like, I gotta go to work. Super Auto Pets is calling. Kate picked her up a few hours later. Apparently, she was doing okay. It's a good situation. Very, very proud papa, and also a papa who's looking at the situation and going, you know what? It's not that I, don't want to spend this kind of time with my child. It's quite the opposite. I think this will... Ooh, that's the perfect thing. Roll me. I thought I was very prospectively shooting for like 9 lives, which was a huge... Yeah, why would I get tears in range? What am I thinking? But it's okay, we'll find a tinted rock. You know, I think this will lead to a situation where more of the time that we spend is like, you know, co-parenting, you know, like 2 parents side by side, instead of what it is right now, which is largely a lot of like, you know, while I work, Kate looks after the baby. While she works, I look after the baby. When her stream's done, she puts the baby to bed, and then, you know, we handle all like the adult stuff that needs to be handled, like doing the dishes and, you know, eating some vegetables and et cetera, et cetera. So it's a good thing. I think this is I think it's a big positive. But still an adjustment period. So that's why, you know, there may even, like today was probably the closest time since the birth of the baby to not getting an Isaac episode daily. So it's been over a year since we come this close, just to give you an idea of how, you know, tight things are right now. I would imagine there will come a time, perhaps in the relatively near future, when we will skip a day or so of Isaac in favor of, you know, playing something else, or even just giving myself a little extra space that day. And I hope when that happens, your first inclination is not going to be, oh, he's dead. I hope your first inclination is going to be, he was just really busy that day. Because, you know, I don't mind throwing an extra 50 minutes on top of... Oh, HP, please? That's good. It's good. 12% tears up. Gulp me. I found pills and ate them. I found some pills and I ate them. Taste of her cherry chapstick. Do you have Blistex in America? If you don't have Blistex, you're missing out. Anyway, so that's, I mean, anecdotally, like experientially, that's what's going on in life right now. That's life right now. Apart from that, you know, can I tell you something? How good is Inscription, right? Now that Spirit Hearts, thank you. How good is Inscription? I'm not sure. It's funny for me. If you're not familiar, Inscription is the new deck builder from Daniel Mullins Games, who also made Pony Island and the Hex. Of those, I think Pony Island is the one that maybe people are more familiar with. It's kind of like a reality bending meta game that looks like it's kind of like a silly children's game. U-piece. That's a huge U-piece. That's the U-piece moment of the day right there. I can't believe you've done this. It's published by Devolver, so it's got a certain pedigree behind it just on that alone, even though they did also publish Scum, S.C.U.M. That, you know what? No, nobody's perfect. This is what Marge Simpson said. Well, no, she saw a bumper sticker that said "Po Buddy's Nerfect," but, you know, you get the idea. That's what she meant when she said it. And I'm sure there's lots of people out there that still believe that one day they will like Scum when it's finished. But, you know... Excuse me, that said plus 0.35 tears up. I received plus 0.12. Where's my hanging Chad? But the Inscription is like, it's a deck builder with very simple rules. It almost feels, I don't know, like I don't feel comfortable necessarily being like, it feels like Gwent, but it feels maybe more like, I'm stupid. Can I get a Hanged Man, please? There's always a Hanged Man in these. Chaos, Strength, Wheel of Fortune. You can Wheel of Fortune Splode, take a Chaos card with you. Oh, that's fine, that's fine. Take a Chaos card with you. I don't really care for Strength in this situation. You know what? We have the Jawbone, now that I think about it. Am I really going to sit here and tap? Yeah, because it's going to take like 5 seconds. Excuse me? What, I'm full? Apparently I'm full? My bad. I couldn't possibly eat another bite, waiter. So it's a deck builder. You could think of it a little bit like Slay the Spire, but it's... It has some similarities, but way less than the average deck builder that comes out in 2021, which is basically like, hey, we made Slay the Spire, but like, it's not quite on that level quite yet, but we're hoping it'll get there one day. Either way, it's like a deck builder, but with escape room elements, with puzzle elements, with strong narrative elements, and a dynamite sort of atmosphere and tone to it that is, you know what, you're just... It's been a while. It has been some time since we screwed up that badly with a Chaos card. But it happens. It has been known to happen. That went pretty well. You're not good enough. You're the same thing? Excuse me? What did I palette swapped you? Are you the one that creates cracks for us on the ground when we kill enemies or something? Yeah, when we kill enemies, they become explosive monsters. Okay, I mean, it's pretty good, I think. I'm not disappointed. I'm just a little confused, I guess. This seems great, actually. But how good is that? Like, it's one of those games. You know, I talked about this. I'm as surprised as any. Maybe it's like, you know, I don't run in very, very online circles that much anymore. But like, I really expected that the reaction to Bo Burnham's Inside was going to be so positive after I saw it. And keep in mind, this is from somebody who had never seen anything that he had done before except 8th grade, which is not even really, I mean, he directed it, but it's like, and wrote it, I guess, but, you know, it's not a comedy special, right? After watching it, I really thought the reaction was going to be so positive that we were in for that, you know, like, elasticity backwards, and people were going to be like just talking about it as cringe. But it doesn't seem like we're there. It seems like, I mean, if mucormycosis works, Explosivo should work. IMO, just saying. I thought that we would be in for kind of like a whiplash, which, and it did happen to the movie Whiplash, ironically enough, I guess. But I thought we would be in for a whiplash. The same way that I was, you know, kind of derogatory whenever people would bring up Undertale. You know, D.A.E. La Undertale. Look, I was younger back then. I was more naive. Everybody makes mistakes. This is a great game. Was the community enthusiastic to the point of sometimes being a little bit overbearing or annoying? To me personally, yes. Should I have let that cloud my judgment on the game, especially before playing it? Absolutely not. What was done is done there. I've admitted that mistake basically as soon as I played it. It's one thing about me. I mean, like everybody else, in the moment, it's hard to admit you're wrong while you're like losing an argument. You'd rather just be like, you know, agree to disagree. But I think I'm pretty good about, like, when I'm wrong and have the time to, like, sit and stew about it a little bit, like, being like, hey, that one was on me, for sure. I actually am happy to have speed. We were rewarded with another Tears upgrade. Do I want to go onto a half-heart just to get piercing shots we already have and some damage? Probably not. Probably not. Take me down here. Anyway, how did we get here? Well, we got here because I am wondering, like, Inscription makes me feel, and this is, we're coming back from an aside now. When I watched Inside for the first time, and the only time, I was actually, and I've said this before, I mean it, like, with a little bit of joke, but also there's a nugget of truth in it, that watching it made me angry in a way because of jealousy, like because of how good a piece of media it is from someone that is even a little bit younger than me. Like, it's very easy to rationalize, you know, when you listen to an album from somebody and, you know, you're 15 and they're 30, you're like, well, when I'm 30, I might have the chance to do that. When you're watching, like, a piece of work like that from somebody who's younger than you and you're like, they're my age or a little bit younger, and they made this, like, you know, I guess I can't call it sprawling, but this very, you know, bold piece of work. Like, rather than just be, what's the word, adulatory, you know, like rather than just being very, you know, breathlessly positive about it. I was like, it's so good that it actually makes me upset that, you know, it actually like ignited a latent form of like imposter syndrome in me. Like that, it was that good. But it's not about me. It's about it being good. Inscription, in a way, makes me feel kind of similar, but I, you know, kind of outside of that industry, even more than outside of the comedy industry, or the talking about things into a webcam industry, at least. I think we should give this a shot. D6 is great. Let's keep it rolling with Diplopia, though, because we can even use Diplopia if we need some Spirit Hearts to get us out of a jam on, like, a super secret room or something. Might be nice. Either way, it just is designed so cleverly. You know, like, you play something like Slay the Spire, and then you play a lot of games that imitate it, and the imitation style is like, we're gonna try to make the same game, but, like, you know, with real animals instead of, like, you know, weird creatures or something like that. Or, you know, we're gonna try to make the same game, but there's gonna be, like, an RPG layer with equipment and stuff over top. And then Inscription is like, no, we're gonna try to make, like, a... This is well worth it, by the way. We're gonna try to make, like, a similar game, but we're just gonna put, like, another cool layer on top where it's like an escape room. You can stand up from the table in this deck builder. I'm not even saying, by the way, that Inscription is... Look, I think it's very compelling. I think I'm having an amazing time with it so far. Every time I play it, the next time I stream it, I want to stream more of it, which is the opposite of how that works for most games that are not Super Auto Pets. But what I will say is just the ingenuity and the cleverness of the design is enough that you are like, I'm almost a little mad. I'm like, this is such a good idea. I'm upset I didn't come up with it. But more power to you. You're very smart, very clever. I'm not going to hold it against you. I'm only taking this because we're closing in on Beelzebub. This is fine. This run has some very, you know, it should not lose. Let's put it that way. Our HP is not in a great spot. We will be fishing for second secret rooms on the way down here. I'm happy. Oh, we were on red hearts? We were deep on red hearts? Oops. Did I do that? Hey, hands off my hiney, baby. Austin Powers. One of the quotes, you know, a lot of people have mantras, you know, they repeat to themselves in the morning. I do not have a mantra, at least as of yet. One of the most powerful mantras, if I could choose one of the most powerful mantras I would choose, I think, would be, hey baby, hands off my hiney. Onsus, blank rune. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a Dagaz. I don't even like the Solar Blue baby. It doesn't even go here. We have Onsus, Perthro. Look, the real way you play this is you, Onsus, go for the secret room. Maybe you get something there. Then you maybe take a Yera or a Perthro with you. The way I play this is I take a Yera with me and hope to find some Spirit Hearts. We weren't as down bad as I thought we were. We were not down bad enough to be on the, you know, Guys Down Bad Twitter account. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a believer in a bird in the hand is worth two in the you know. You know where. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. You ever have a quote from a song or a movie that you attributed falsely, or you not misremembered it, but you've misinterpreted it for your whole life? A very classic one is Jimi Hendrix in Purple Haze. It's excuse me while I kiss the sky. Very commonly, or somewhat notoriously, if not commonly, misheard as excuse me while I kiss this guy. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because, I mean, for one, it's very progressive, especially for the 60s, but then also he could have said pretty much anything there. As long as he follows it up with the dirtiest guitar lick in history. I mean, look. Dirtiest guitar lick in history? I don't know. I mean, television's Marquee Moon, you kind of got to consider that a classic. It's a 10-minute long song. I'm not going to be the guy who's like, oh, you got to hear it if you've never heard it. But if you're interested and you've never heard it, It's 10 minutes, you know. You can stop listening to Hollow Live karaoke for 10 minutes. You can put it on pause, you know, they'll still be there. I mean, so will Television's Marquee Moon, track 4 on the album of the same name. But that's kind of like a classic, you know, all-timer guitar performance. Yes, I know Prince at the George Harrison tribute, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Sure, not disrespecting that in the slightest. Well, while we're talking about the Beatles, George Harrison's guitar off of Helter Skelter from the White Album, I think you got to give that a great amount of respect, just because, like, does it go hard by, you know, 2021 standards? Not necessarily. But by, you know, 1968 standards, that's the kind of song where people were, like, you know, petitioning, like, we got to stop the radio from playing this. It's like, it's too bombastic. Gets the people. It is funny to think, right, of like people being whipped into a frenzy over some stuff that is so old that it's now considered kind of mundane or even boring. Like your great grandmas or grandmas were like in the audience at a American Bandstand with Dick Clark, and then, you know, like Paul Anka's getting up there going, you know, like, my girl, and they're like fainting in the crowd. That's embarrassing for grandma. I was front row with Japan Droids at the 2010 Hillside Festival, right next to the amp. Didn't pass out. Chest hurt a little bit, but still didn't pass out. Okay, thanks for nothing. We can make it. We can steal something from Boss Rush and then, you know, make it out with the Fool card here. Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with this run in general. I'm super stoked to have Brimstone, quite frankly. What else were we talking about? Oh, yeah, commonly misconstrued words. In the movie Kingpin, starring Woody Harrelson as the downtrodden Roy Munson, perennial also ran in professional bowling, turned part-time huckster. When he comes to play in the American Open in Reno, Nevada, he tries to play... You know what? Take me to Streamer Room, as Dan calls it. But they stop him. The woman says, your union dues are in arrears. Arrears is when you owe money for, like, a recurring payment. You haven't paid it. Arrears is like a debt. It may or may not collect interest, to be honest with you. I'm not totally sure. For literally until I was probably 25, I thought she said your debts are in our ears. As in, you have like, imagine debt was rather than a construct that exists exclusively in a spreadsheet. It was, you know, like you had a piece of paper with an IOU on it. Much like Jim Carrey in the other Farrelly Brothers movie, Dumb and Dumber, there's IOU. That one's for a Lamborghini, $250,000. You might want to put that in a safe place. There's so many IOUs that they're stacked from the floor into their ears. Like, that's how they're basically drowning in Roy Munson's debts. What is this apropos of? Literally nothing at all. I'm just trying to spin something out of nothing. Like Modest Mouse's album consisting of B-sides. That might I add, has some bops on it. Like, for example, hold on. It's got some like Sleepwalking. That's kind of that's an aberration in the Modest Mouse discography. I'm trying to think of what else is on it. Does it have The World is a Math Equation? I think. Oh, is it? That has Other People's Lives on it, doesn't it? That's a classic. Other People's Lives is for a B-side. That one could have made it. Come on, you could have put that on. You know, you could have taken SHIT Luck off of one of the albums and put on, you know, Other People's Lives or something. It's a great end-of-album jam session track, much like, you know, It's All Nice on Ice. Open parentheses, Styrofoam Boots. Okay, we should... Look. We're kind of popping on this one. This is like a very... It's a microcosm, because, you know, Repentance has made the average episode an hour and a half long. This is a microcosm of, like, your average NL Isaac episode. What is this, man? What is this? Like, we got brimstone. That's a big part of it. We got high-octane banter. Cracked orb, kind of stinky. Kidney beam, actually even worse. Maybe cracked orb isn't that stinky, but it's not that good either. We got rapid fire, you know, pop culture based banter. We've got comparing himself to Salieri with Bo Burnham as his Mozart. You know, we got a lot of the old standbys coming here. Complaining about how busy you are when you have a job that, like, little kids dream of doing. Yeah, exactly. You dream of Genie? Yeah, I dream of Game Genie, so I don't have to put in any more effort. I could just, Infinite Mom's Knife cheat, please. You ever have a Game Genie growing up? Oh, we don't need it. Look, I recognize, I have some nostalgia for this. I would never say that it's the best way to, like, do this, okay? I don't even know, did game publishers acknowledge that Game Genie was a thing, or was Game Genie like a piece of gray market software that just happened to be sold in Toys R Us? Or hardware, I guess, technically. Not even technically, just literally. The Game Genie was, when you bought it, essentially you got two things. One of them was for the Super Nintendo, let's use as an example. You got a cartridge that fit into the Super Nintendo that then you could fit a Super Nintendo cartridge into the top of. So basically, you would take your Super Mario World, you're a piece, honestly. You would take your Super Mario World SNES cartridge, you would put it into the Game Genie, then you would put the Game Genie into the Super Nintendo. The second and very critical point of this was, component, was you would get a booklet that consisted of a series of like 16-digit codes. When you opened up Super Mario World, or whatever game, when you turned on your SNES, I should say, you would, instead of being greeted with the, you know, you would be greeted with the Game Genie boot up, and it would be like, you know, please pick a game and then enter a code. And by doing that, you know, you could search the book and be like, oh, you know, Super Mario World Infinite Lives. And then you could put that in, then it would boot the game, and then you would play Super Mario World with Infinite Lives. You could play Smash TV, you know, all guns are that sick bubble gun that isn't even that good, but, like, looks cool as heck, you know. The Game Genie, it's super weird to think about. I can't imagine game developers were upset that it existed. It's like, you're ruining the integrity of Harley's Humongous Adventure. We built this game in 6 months, working tirelessly so we'd have something to put out in Q3, even though it's a piece of garbage, you know? Like, I can't imagine they were that worried about, like, it's not like Christopher Nolan coming to, you know, your house to beat you up just because you watched Dunkirk on an airplane on, like, a 2.7-inch screen. But at the same time, you know, it's kind of a weird thing to think about. That you would, like, go to the store and basically, I mean, you're kind of buying like a hacking tool. It's not like you're not stealing Shigeru Miyamoto's credit card number or anything like that, but, you know, it's, I mean, it's not even, I don't think it's illegal in the slightest, but it is a little weird, certainly a little strange. Nowadays, they just have you skip the middleman and input your credit card directly, and then, oh, look at that, you beat the game with free HP. Whoa, you got a bunch of red orb drops in Devil May Cry 4. Congrats, you're really good. Oh, wow, Platinum Lionel Messi, congratulations. Warning, he expires in, you know, 6 months when FIFA 22 comes out. That's the way the FIFAs work, right? I always forget. One of them is like the year it comes out. The other one is like the other. All of them are like the year that the number is +1. Like, for example, it's October 2021 right now, as of the time of this recording. And NHL 22 just came out, which is crazy because it's like probably the 35th game in the franchise. But anyway. No, that's because I am 32. It's probably like the 30th game in the franchise. Maybe? Am I? How old am I? Great song by The Replacements. I Will Dare, track 1 off of their 1986 album, Something Town. Hold on, this is going to bother me. The Replacements albums, not the movie. Okay, hold on. You got to take this. Although, just give it a second. I would like to see their discography. Just let it be. Let it be. You can't use that. The Beatles took it. Roll me. That's a juice me. Honestly, that's a juice me, but first we're going to juice me here. Give me a couple of spiders. Give me one of these sons of guns. Take me anywhere. Here we go. That's more like the Smiths, but I think in The Replacements, I Will Dare, they say, meet me anywhere. Look at that, though. Sub 30, almost. A great run either way. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps it a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!